What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Wandavision episode 6. No, I am not doing a reaction this time because it was getting too overwhelming for me. I was staying up too late. Well, I always stay up late to watch Wandavision anyways because why not? But having to stay up late, having to edit the video into little sections for the reaction, it was getting too overwhelming for me. So I just decided to do a review. So that's what we're going to do today. But for right now, we're going to get to this reaction. So let's get started. Alright, so my thoughts on WandaVision episode 6. This episode was very good, was really short as usual. Hayward was a prick as usual. Made me want to slap him in his freaking face. I hate Hayward. He's up to something. I want to know what he's up to. He made me want to punch him in his face, alright? I don't know what his deal is, but he was testing my patience, alright? But this episode was very amazing. Every episode keeps getting better and better. Paul and Lizzie, they outdo themselves every episode. They deserve all the awards for this show, literally, because literally every episode they have an amazing performance, and it never fails. So we're gonna talk about the 90s intro. The 90s intro had a little Malcolm in the Middle type feel to it. I haven't watched Malcolm in the Middle in years. Malcolm in the Middle, correct me if I'm wrong, but Malcolm in the Middle came out in the 90s. So, not in the 90s, the 2000s, right? It had to. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while. But you got Wanda. She's in her bathroom getting ready for the day. You see Tommy carrying a camera. Filming the day. He's messing with his family, messing with Billy, messing with Wanda, messing with Vision. Then you see Pietro run out of nowhere, as a family. And speaking of Uncle Pietro, that man Evan Peters is freaking lit. He's cool. He's like the Quicksilver I see in the X-Men movies. He didn't change. He didn't change not one bit. He's freaking lit in this episode. He's hilarious. He's fun. He's one of those cool uncles that he's one of those cool uncles. But he's one of those cool uncles. So he spends time with Billy and Tommy. Wanda's starting to realize that, that's not the Pietro that she knows. Because everything he tells her is not what she remembers. She remembers something different. He's telling her something completely different. She doesn't remember it. And I like how they did the back and forth things from when they were little and stuff. Like how they would tell the story, and then they would do a flashback to their childhood and then show what would happen. That gave me so much nostalgia. Okay, so then we got Wanda and Vision in their comic accurate costumes. I love seeing them in their comic accurate costumes. This is probably my favorite looks they've worn in this series so far. And we got to see them in their comic accuracy. We got to see Billy and Tommy get into their suits as well. And they learned their powers. They used their powers for the first time in this episode. So, that was cool to see. They also referenced the movie Kick-Ass. They referenced that movie. It was freaking hilarious. It was cool because Aaron Taylor Johnson was in Kick-Ass. He was Kick-Ass in the movie. So that they referenced that. So, and then Pietro was acting weird around Wanda, asking her weird questions like, how did you start this? How did you start that? What happened? How did we get to this point? That's what he's trying to ask her. How did we get to this point? Why are you doing all this? Basically what he's asking her. So Wanda's like, I don't know how I did this. I don't know how all this started. I don't even know if I'm the one doing all of this. Like, she's trying to ask herself if she's the one who's doing all of this. Cause, huh, Elizabeth Olsen is amazing in this show. She outdoes herself every episode, and it's just amazing. Her her as Wanda is just perfect casting. So when she's talking to Pietro, if you didn't watch episode 4, when Vision comes into the house, asks Wanda where's Geraldine, Monica asks her where's Geraldine. She tells her, oh nothing, honey, she had to leave. Turns around, bam, you see dead Vision. So when she's talking to Pietro, she turns, bam, you see the gunshots and stuff. You see his dead face. It's creepy, y'all. It's creepy. I'm expecting a horror movie. Or Doctor Strange too. I'm expecting it. Alright, so hang on. I'm expecting it. So then we have this one scene where Vision is just walking through the streets. Because you know he's on his neighborhood patrol. He's wandering the streets. He sees these two couples glitching. Like, it's one lady, she has a tear coming down her eye. She's literally doing this. She's like doing this over and over, like she's lagging or something. So that was weird to see. And then he starts to see like all these people, like they're frozen, they're stuck in time, they can't move. Like it's like Wanda's trying to tell them to stop moving, to stop doing stuff. And they're close to the border. Remind you that they're close to the border, and they can't do anything. They can't move. They can't do anything. So Vision goes into his normal suit that we've seen him in the past movies. He goes into his normal suit. He pans all around the city. He hears kids. He didn't even notice the kids, because you know, in the last episode, episode 5, he asked Wanda, why are there no kids? Why are there no kids every day I walk out to go to work? So he's just walking through the streets like he doesn't care. He doesn't care that the kids are there. He's not realizing that, oh, you know, Wanda got into this fight last night. So I asked her, where are the children? Why are there no children in this you know, city? Like, what's happening? Why are there no kids? Now we see kids in this episode, and he didn't even mention it. Like, he went into his normal self. He knows something that's happening, and he didn't mention the kids. I was expecting him to say something about those kids. Like, where did they come from? How are they here now? Like, kids just popped up randomly. Like, okay, but yeah. So then we have Vision going towards the bubble. He gets to the bubble, goes out of the bubble, starts breaking down. That was the most emotional scene in this episode, I would have to say. That was the most emotional scene in this episode. Seeing him break down, tearing apart like that, and Darcy trying to go help him, and then Hayward freaking grabs handcuffs, gives it to one of his workers, and they freaking cuff her up to the car, right? She's just trying to help Vision. She's trying to understand what he's trying to say. And then you just put her in freaking handcuffs in the car? What the? Yo, Hayward is annoying. But then you go back into the bubble world, right? Billy is his powers are starting to kick in. So he's starting to hear all this stuff. He's starting to hear Vision, his dad scream. He's starting to hear his dad scream for help. So he goes to Wanda and tells her what's happening, and then he closes his eyes and he can see stuff. Like in the comics, if he says something over and over, it will take him there. So, but they didn't do that in this episode. So he closes his eyes, he sees what's happening. He sees Vision outside of the bubble, sees him breaking down, sees everybody pointing guns at him. Which I don't know why dumb people point guns at superheroes. If superheroes have powers, don't point guns at them because you're gonna get yourself hurt. I don't understand that. But they start pointing guns at him. Vision's breaking down. Darcy's wanting to go help Vision to understand what he's saying before he breaks down. So then we're in this scene. Pietro, Evan Peters, he says, "What? It's not like your husband died twice or anything." Wanda blasts him, just shoots him away. She was like, "Don't say that, because that man did die twice. He did die twice. He died twice in the Infinity War. First by Wanda, then by Thanos. So, yeah, that happened. And then Wanda, she literally freezes everybody and just, she uses this full force of her power that I have never, the last time I seen her do that was in Age of Ultron when she lost Pietro. She closed her eyes and let this full force of her power just let go, and it makes the hex bigger, and it's pushing more forward. And then you see Darcy. They still got her locked up to the car. Didn't save her. Didn't feel the need to save her. They just left her there. Hayward just left her there. So now you see all these sword agents and Darcy getting sucked into the hex, into the bubble hex. But the thing is with Darcy, you didn't see her change. She disappeared. You didn't see her change. Everybody else that got stuck into the bubble, they changed. Darcy somehow disappeared. I don't know how that happened, but she somehow disappeared. She didn't change. She just disappeared. We don't know where she's at now. Then you got Jenny and Monica off somewhere, going somewhere. And then Hayward's dumb self just decides to leave Darcy there. What were you thinking? You see a bubble vortex moving, but you see somebody locked up right there. He doesn't care about anybody. He doesn't care. He cares about himself, and that's all. That man on his head. I think that's about it. This episode was all type of crazy, and the way it ended too. This episode was short as sweet. For one, this episode was short and sweet. How y'all gonna end off the episode like that and have me wait a whole nother week for another episode? Episode 7 better be long too, because this 38-minute stuff, these long ass credits that I have to watch, talking about some 38 minutes, but the 38 minutes left of just is the credits. I love WandaVision. I love everything about it. I love Paul and Lizzie. They're amazing. They deserve all the awards. They deserve all the awards for this show. This show deserves to get awards itself, because Marvel, they literally outdo themselves every year with their projects. And for some reason, they always have to make people depressed and sad. We just gotta... We've been in a hiatus of no Marvel content for a whole year last year, right? Come back, we got WandaVision. We're back after Endgame. Endgame's done. Everybody's going their separate ways. We lost some people. Some people died. Tony, Natasha, we lost them. Steve's gone. He's old now. Which I hope when we get to Falcon and Winter Soldier that he's not dead. So we have that stuff coming up this year, and going forward, we're gonna have a roster full of Marvel content, and I cannot wait. After we have 3 more episodes left of WandaVision. After that's done, we have the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Right now, Wandavision is sort of this mysterious, thriller, dark type show right now. But once we get the Falcon and Winter Soldier, we're gonna get that comedy, that cleansing of relief for the comedy that we need to take a breather. And then we have Loki coming up next. Got Loki and Black Widow coming in May. That's if they freaking release Black Widow, because they had their earnings call yesterday, and you know, of course, they're gonna keep saying that Black Widow is gonna stay in theaters. They're not gonna get a definitive, you know, statement about Black Widow. They're just gonna keep saying that her movie is gonna stay in theaters, and not a lot of theaters are open. So I think they should just do a dual release for Black Widow. But this is it for that review. WandaVision is freaking amazing. I'm loving every episode. Every episode gets better and better. I'm going to sound violent, alright? When Wanda sees Hayward again, I want her to beat the crap out of that man. Because he's the one who's trying to cause her more and more pain. He's trying to get her to come out of that bubble. He's trying to get her to talk, to tell him what's going on. Okay? I feel like that man shouldn't even be working there. I feel like he's working for someone else. He's working for some Hydra thing or something. It's not probably Hydra, probably AIM or something. You know, cause you know, Shield and Hydra are not a thing anymore. So they are, but they're hidden. So I want her to beat the mess out of that man. Okay? He's getting on my nerves. He pissed me off watching this episode. Cause I know she's gonna go full force in the final episode. She ain't playing with nobody. And it's gonna be fire. And we getting her new suit soon. And I can't wait. I can't wait for the next episode. I can't wait for episode 8. I can't wait for the episodes going forward. We're almost done with the show. It's crazy how fast we've gotten through it. But after that, we got the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now, this video is getting long, but the reason why I didn't do a reaction this time, I explained it in the intro. It's because it was getting too overwhelming for me. I was having to stay up to edit, and having to make the thumbnails and stuff, and it was kind of getting overwhelming for me. I was keep getting migraines. I had to calm all that down. So I just decided to do, you know, reviews. They're more easier to do. So that's what I'm gonna be doing from now on forward, for the Falcon and Winter Soldier especially. So if you wanna keep a lookout for my reviews, keep a lookout for those. Have those post notifications on. Like this video. Share with your friends. Subscribe. The boy hit 124 subscribers. Can't believe that's a lot of people in my eyes that's actually watching my channel. Like, I can't believe that I got that far. Hopefully I can achieve my goal to get to 1,000 subscribers. Then I can get better equipment and stuff. I do have a job interview coming up soon. So if I do get that job, I can finally, you know, get that job, work, save up money, get new equipment, you know, have a better setup. So, without further ado, this is your boy JPTV. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you know when I upload. And I will see you guys in the next video. Holla at your boy. Deuces.